2 plus 2 is 4. Or is it? It sounds ridiculous to even ask. 2 plus 2 has always been 4. It's one of the first things we ever learned. But when you start to pull on that thread, the entire fabric of what numbers mean begins to unravel. Before we can talk about 2 plus 2, we need to understand what 2 even is. Numbers didn't always exist, not in nature, not in the stars, not even in the early minds of humans. 30,000 years ago, people carved tally marks into bone, one line for each animal hunted or day passed. These marks weren't numbers yet, they were memory aids, a way to make the invisible concept of quantity visible. Over time, humanity turned scratches into symbols. The Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Greeks, each culture gave shape to the idea of counting, and through this process, 2 stopped being 2 objects and became a concept, an invisible idea powerful enough to describe anything, from apples to atoms. Okay, so you have 2, but what about that little plus sign? Addition is just a name we give to the process of combining things. 2 groups become one larger group, but mathematics doesn't leave this up to intuition. It defines addition using logic. The piano axioms say 0 exists. Every number has a successor, and adding is just applying that successor repeatedly. That's how we build arithmetic from scratch. So when we say 2 plus 2 equals 4, we're not describing a discovery, we're using a definition. It's like saying a triangle has 3 sides. It's true because that's what the word means. But what if plus didn't mean what we think it does? In modular arithmetic used in computer science, numbers wrap around after reaching a limit. So in mod 3, 2 plus 2 equals 1. In binary, 2 plus 2 equals 100. And in Orwell's 1984, 2 plus 2 is 5 if enough people are forced to believe it. It's not that math stops working, it's that we change the rules of the game. And if you can redefine the rules, even the simplest truths become flexible. So maybe 2 plus 2 only equals 4 in the system we created. Numbers are words, words are symbols, and symbols are agreements. The word dog isn't a dog, it represents one. Just like 2 doesn't contain two-ness, it represents the idea of 2. Math is a language that describes relationships between quantities, between objects, between ideas, but it's still a language. And like any language, it only makes sense because we agree it does. What is 4? It's the successor of 3, which is the successor of 2, which is the successor of 1, which is the successor of 0. But 0 itself was one of the last numbers we invented. So the very foundation of 2 plus 2 equals 4 relies on something humanity struggled to even imagine for thousands of years. In the vacuum of space, there are no numbers floating between the stars, no cosmic accountant labeling every molecule. Atoms don't know they're in pairs. Planets don't know they orbit in groups of 4. Numbers don't exist out there. They exist in here. So when we say 2 plus 2 equals 4, what we're really saying is, in the framework we've made to describe reality, this rule holds true. So, is 2 plus 2 really 4? Yes. but also maybe not. It's true because we made it true. A logical structure built from human invention, a masterpiece of consistency. But math isn't the universe, it's the lens we look through to understand it, and that lens, while beautifully precise, is still something we made. So the next time you see 2 plus 2 equals 4, remember, it's not just math, it's a story, and a story we invented to make sense of everything else. And as always, thanks for watching. I'm not Vsauce, but I'm impersonating.